Hello everybody, welcome to biology session, that is we are dealing here with chapter 10 and third session of chapter microbes in human welfare. In last two sessions we did study about microbes which are used in household products, in industries like beverages, antibiotics, as well as we have come across certain different microbes which are used as chemicals, enzymes and bioactive molecules. So in today's class we will be studying about microbes which play a very important role in treating of sewage. So here today's topic will be microbes in sewage treatment. That is done with the help of STP, that is sewage treatment plant. So sewage treatment plant, now first of all we should know what is sewage. Sewage means, if you see human population, especially in metro cities, the amount of human population is so much high that every day large amount of sewage will be dispersed from each of the colonies or each of the homes or houses or apartments, which is very difficult to dispose them. So what can be done? What they normally do is they directly throw the sewage into the consumption water or rivers or lakes, which again contaminates the water, and there are very much high chances of spreading infectious disease. So to avoid that one, in larger cities what they do is they undergo this sewage treatment plant, based on which one they can treat this sewage or wastewater. Now when it comes to the sewage treatment, how it can be done or what is the major part in the sewage anta keladre, it will be human excreta. Human excreta is the, even though it is biodegradable, but the amount is so much high that biodegradable process takes a little bit time, but human excreta produced every day is very much high in a large population, that it is normally mixed with river or lakes. So to avoid this one, along with this one there are kitchen wastes, there are bath waste, washing waste, everything joins with this to form this sewage. So in together human excreta along with the kitchen, bath waste, detergent waste, washing waste, all these are together called municipal waste. These municipal waste is divided into two different forms. One, it contains organic matter, and another it contains microbes. These microbes are usually pathogenic. Now what is pathogenic? Anything which leads to disease, that is any microorganisms which leads to diseases, those are called pathogenic. So these microbes which are present in this municipal waste or sewage, these are normally pathogenic in nature. So what can be done? It cannot be directly dispersed into the water or any river or lakes which we normally consume. So it should be passed into this sewage treatment plant so that it can be treated well before it is released into the water bodies. So for that, now it will be studying about this sewage treatment plant. When it comes to this sewage treatment plant, as I have told, it contains pathogenic microbes. These pathogenic microbes are heterotrophic in nature. Heterotrophic means these microbes depend on others for its food supplies. That may be damaging to us if we consume that water, if not, but the organic matter will be consumed here. That means heterotrophic means one organism is dependent on other organism to obtain food. Here this heterotrophic microbe should be treated well. So that can be treated by two different methods. One is primary treatment, another is secondary treatment. So primary treatment, it can be further divided or further classified into two different forms. One is filtration, another is sedimentation. Now what happens in filtration? It is also termed sequential filtration. What happens in filtration is, if the sewage is transferred like this, there will be a mesh like structure here. This mesh like structure do not allow the larger waste, maybe plastics or glass, everything will be collected here and only the sewage water will be transferred. This type of filtration is also termed sequential filtration, which is the first step in primary treatment. Next, when it comes to sedimentation, once this is transferred or once the effluent is cleaned with the help of mesh, this is transferred into a tank where it is let to settle. Now what does get settled anta keladre? Here it will be the gravels, sanna sanna kallugalu athava sand particles, which will be easily passing through this mesh, and in this mesh it cannot be separated. That is why small stones or gravels or sand particles, everything will be passed into this sedimentation tank. In this sedimentation tank, they normally get settled in the lower region and only the effluent will be separated. Now whatever gets settled here, that is termed primary sludge. So what is a primary sludge? In the primary treatment, after the filtration process is completed, when the sewage is let or it is transferred into the settling tank or sedimentation tank, in this sedimentation tank, the small stones or sand get settled in the base of the sedimentation tank, which is termed primary sludge. And rest part, what it is remaining or what it is in the present in the upper region, that is what is termed effluent. So it is primary sludge and the above one is called effluent. Now this effluent is transferred into second step, that is secondary treatment. So once again to discuss here, sewage treatment plant contains of heterotrophic microbes which can be reduced or their activity can be reduced by undergoing sewage treatment plant, which contains of two steps: primary treatment, secondary treatment. In primary treatment, there are two steps, that is filtration and sedimentation. In filtration method, a large mesh will be put through which the sewage water is transferred, so that larger substances like plastic, glass, which gets collected in this mesh net, and rest of the sewage water gets transferred into the sedimentation tank. Now the filtration, as we have separated larger substances, this is also termed sequential filtration. Now when it is transferred into, or when the effluent or when the sewage is transferred into sedimentation tank, smaller gravels or large amount of slit sand, everything gets settled in the lower part of the sedimentation tank, which is termed primary sludge, and the rest part, that is termed effluent, which is later transferred into secondary treatment. Now we will study about what happens in the secondary treatment. In secondary treatment, once the effluent is obtained, it is transferred, or in this secondary treatment, first the effluent from the sedimentation tank, it is transferred into aeration tank. So what happens in this aeration tank is, here you will be passing air, that is especially oxygen will be transferred. Why? Because it contains certain microbes which are aerobic in nature. Aerobic means which depend on oxygen for their growth and development. So here in the aeration tank, what is passed? It is effluent from the primary treatment is passed into the aeration tank, where air is sent. That is what is called agitation, that is done mechanically. Why do we send air into the aeration tank? So that the microbes present in this effluent can divide and multiply themselves. Now there might be a question, what is the necessary? We are trying to avoid this microbes from the sewage so that the water is good for consumption. And here I am telling that I am promoting the growth and development of microbes. The answer for this one is, why I am promoting the growth and development of microbes? That is to digest the organic matter present in it. If the organic matter in the effluent retains like that, then it is impossible to convert it into a consumption good water, as it is having higher amount of organic matter. So here there is one concept that is called BOD, biological oxygen demand. Now to define this BOD, it is the amount of oxygen required. Now here in this effluent, imagine that there is organic matter. Biological oxygen demand means it is the amount of oxygen required to digest the organic matter present in 1 liter of water. That is what is BOD. So biological oxygen demand means amount of oxygen required to digest the organic matter in 1 liter of water. Now as I add air into this aeration tank or agitated it mechanically, what happens? It leads to the growth and development of microbes forming flocks. It leads to formation of flocks. What is flock? Flock means it is mass of bacteria and fungi which forms a mesh-like structure. That is what is called flocks. So once the flocks are formed in the aeration tank, they do act on the organic matter. They do act on the organic matter which is present in the effluent. Now once they act on this organic matter, they start to consume or digest this organic matter. This digestion of the organic matter automatically affects the BOD. So to make it very much simple, now organic matter, BOD and flocks. So more organic matter, higher is the BOD. Flocks should act on this organic matter. Once the flocks acts on this organic matter, the BOD automatically reduces. So flocks digest this organic matter and reduces the BOD. So more organic matter, more BOD, less organic matter, less BOD. So here these are going hand in hands, that is they are directly proportional to each other. So whenever there is increase in the flocks, it directly consumes the organic matter and reduces the BOD. So once the BOD in the effluent starts to reduce, that is the measure of identifying whether the effluent is good for or whether the sewage is getting treated or not. If BOD is reduced, then it is automatically understood that the sewage is being treated, BOD is less and it can be used for consumption. If not, then it means the sewage is very much high, organic matter is very much high, as well as the BOD is also very much high. If the BOD is very much high, it is not good for consumption as well as for aquatic animals to survive, because there is a demand for oxygen and oxygen is very much less in that type of water. Next, once the organic matter is completely consumed by this flocks, next what happens is this effluent is passed into settling tank. So in the settling tank, what happens is now it is passed into the settling tank, where the treated effluent is passed into the settling tank, and here what we do in the settling tank is we allow the bacteria to settle. What are these bacteria? These are nothing but the flocks. In the settling tank, once the effluent is treated, Then the effluent is transferred into the settling tank, and we allow the flocks, that is mesh of bacteria and fungi, to get settled in the base of the settling tank, and the effluent is separated. This effluent is good for consumption, and this component which is present at the base of settling tank, this is called activated sludge. What is this activated sludge good in? That is, what is the higher component present in activated sludge? That will be the bacteria or the flocks, or you can say combination of fungi and bacteria which is present in this activated sludge. Now once this activated sludge is present, this can be, that is, some amount will be added as inoculum. You have come across this word, inoculum or starter. This activated sludge, some amount of activated sludge is added as inoculum to this sedimentation tank, or else the primary sludge what is separated here, and here this activated sludge, this can be added into the secondary treatment first step, that is, it can be added as an inoculum to the aeration tank. Which one is added? Activated sludge is added into aeration tank, not all complete, only a little bit. That is what is called as inoculum or starter. It is added as inoculum or starter. What is the function or what is the use of addition of this activated sludge anta kelidre? This helps in accelerating the microbial growth in the aeration tank. That is why activated sludge is added as a starter or inoculum into the first step of the secondary treatment, that is aeration tank. Now rest of the activated sludge, it is used in preparation, or it is transferred into formation of biogas, that is release of methane. That is how this activated sludge is completely digested, and it is transferred in utilization or formation of biogas, and it can be used to either production of cooking gas or for light or electricity. That is how the sewage treatment plant works. So sewage treatment plant contains organic matter as well as microbes, where microbes are more of concentrating, where we have to digest them or where we have to use this microbes for our own benefit. Sewage treatment plant takes place in two different steps, primary and secondary. Primary includes filtration, that is filtration of larger substances. It is also termed sequential filtration, or sedimentation, in which gravels or sand slits will be separated. Once the effluent is separated in the primary treatment, it is transferred into secondary treatment. Here secondary treatment is also having another name, that is called biological treatment. Why? Because here we are using microbes for our own benefit and digesting the organic matter. Once the secondary treatment, the effluent is passed or effluent is obtained, this effluent is transferred into the aeration tank and is agitated mechanically. The air is passed mechanically, so to increase the microbial growth and development. Once the microbes grows or develops, they help in formation of flocks. Flock is a mesh of bacteria and fungi which acts on the organic matter to reduce the biological oxygen demand. Once the BOD reduces, organic matter reduces, the sewage what we call, or the effluent what is called or obtained, that will be able, or it will be almost good for consumption. Before it is released into rivers or into open water bodies, it should be passed into settling tank. In this settling tank, the effluent will be separated and the bacteria or flocks will be settled in the base of the tank. This particular component or this particular effluent can be transferred into open water bodies and is good for consumption. Whatever is settled in the base, that is termed activated sludge. This activated sludge, it is transferred into aeration tank as inoculums or starter, only very less amount. And this activated sludge which is transferred into very less amount into the aeration tank. Rest will be transferred into the larger tank, that is for production of biogas. This biogas, it is utilized for production of either electricity or gas for cooking purpose. That is how sewage treatment plant works. Next, we will study about microbes which are used in biogas, or commonly we term gobar gas. So that is next topic of today's session, that is microbes used in biogas or gobar gas. So we will draw the diagram of this biogas plant before we explain it. Okay, so that is about the diagram of this biogas plant. So first we have to know what is biogas plant and what do we use it for. So here in biogas plant you can see three different tanks here. One is the tank where the raw materials, that is the dung as well as kitchen waste or water, will be accumulated. Second tank is the digester. This is made of concrete. It will be somewhat 25 feet, which is below the ground level. And last one is the sludge collector. So here the sludge collector normally contains that is the after waste, after the production of biogas, what is there, that will be collected here. Now when it comes to this particular diagram or explanation of this diagram, here in the first tank you add the raw materials. Now why only dung is added, why not anything else is added? That is because in the cow dung or in the gut, or that is the stomach of the ruminants, Ruminants means organisms whose stomach is parted into different chambers. ಅಂಥದ್ದನ್ನು ruminants ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. Very best example is cattle. So cattle have parted stomachs. You might have seen them sitting, consuming grasses all together and sitting and curdling. So that is what is done. Why? Because they collect the food and then get it back into the mouth and then digest it or chew it and then again consume it. For that purpose, they have 4 different parts in their gut. So this is very much rich in a bacteria that is called Methanobacterium. This Methanobacterium is an anaerobic bacterium which releases, or during its growth and development, it releases methane gases, carbon dioxide and H2 gases. So which we are utilizing these gases for our own benefit. So here for this, but there is a very strict condition that it should be grown in anaerobic condition without any oxygen. When it comes to this Methanobacterium, that as it is, I told that it is rich in ruminant gut, it also transfers along with the cow dung. So that dung is used for the purpose. All the raw materials are transferred into the first tank along with some amount of water, and it is completely sealed in such a way that no oxygen is entering this tank. Once the dung as well as water gets completely mixed up properly, then the raw material gets transferred into the largest tank, that is the digester. The activity or the microbial activity of Methanobacterium continues. They grow, they develop, and in this process they start releasing methane, carbon dioxide as well as H2 gases. No oxygen is present here. Once they start to release, this tank which will be at the base here, this tank is called floating tank. The floating tank which is at the base of the digester, as the raw material start releasing the gas, the floating tank starts to float up. Once this floating tank starts to float up, it indicates that the gas is full here. So that gas can be transferred using the pipeline into households so that it can be used in cooking purpose as well as lighting purpose. After this gas is transferred, the raw materials who have done all the processes or every process is done and only the waste products is retained, that is transferred into the sludge tank. So this inside the sludge tank, whatever component or whatever waste is remaining, that is called spent slurry. This spent slurry can be used as fertilizers or manures in agriculture. So here there is one more point. I told that we add dung as well as water. Along with this, we can also add a product what is obtained from the sewage treatment plant. That is, in secondary treatment, I have told you activated sludge. Some amount is added into the aeration tank for acceleration of microbial activity. Rest what is remaining, that can be added into this tank where the raw materials of this particular biogas will be added. You can use that also. And last component what slurry or spent slurry is retained, that is used as manures, or you can use it as fertilizers, which has been proven that it gives good fertility to the soil as well as the crop yield quality and quantity has also been increased. So that is about the microbes or utilization of microbes in biogas plant. Now we should know that the sewage treatment plant as well as biogas plant, so they have been put forward in India, and sewage treatment plant is much more restricted to larger metro cities, whereas this biogas plant is restricted to villages. As in larger cities, there is no large amount of space to have this biogas plant. Now when it comes to the sewage treatment plant, this has been successful in treating certain holy rivers in India like Ganga as well as Yamuna using the sewage treatment plant, because most of the industries or household did release the sewage into this water, this holy water, and made it sure that it is not good for consumption. But now using the sewage treatment plant, it has been successful that Ganga sewage treatment plant or Ganga plan action or action plan and Yamuna action plan, these are the 2 action plans which are provided under the sewage treatment plant to clear the sewage and consume good water. as well as when it comes to biogas plant was first introduced in India by, that is, Indian Agricultural Research Institute, and one more is Khadi and Village Industries Committee. So these both are the one which put forward the biogas plant in rural areas so that electricity could be cut off, as well as you can not waste the dung, or it cannot be normally thrown away, or it can be utilized for a high benefit, and it can be used either as manures as well as for gas and electricity connection. So in together, this is a rough idea about the biogas plant as well as sewage treatment plant. Sewage treatment plant helps in clearing the sewage and making the water consumable, whereas biogas plant, the byproducts or waste products of cattle will be utilized in production of electricity as well as cooking gas. So that is all for today's session. Thank you.